I spent 60 years holding on to something that was slowly killing me, and I didn't even know it. At 80 years old, I finally discovered the one thing that changed everything. But the truth behind this will shock you, because what I was holding on to wasn't what you think. In this video, I'll reveal the surprising thing that was draining my happiness, the moment everything clicked, and the simple trick that set me free. Let me show you exactly how this happened.
For most of my life, I thought I was doing everything right. I worked hard, I took care of my family, I followed all the rules. But deep inside, something felt heavy, like carrying a backpack full of rocks everywhere I went. I couldn't sleep well. I got angry over small things. My doctor said my blood pressure was too high. Everyone told me this was just normal aging, that life gets harder as you get older. I believed them for decades. Then something strange happened at my grandson's birthday party. He was turning 7. A little girl dropped her ice cream cone and started crying. What happened next changed my entire life. Now, here's where things get really interesting. I watched my grandson walk over to that crying girl. Without thinking, he handed her his own ice cream, just like that, no hesitation. His mother asked him why he did it. His answer floored me. He said, "It's just ice cream, Mom. I can get more later." It's just ice cream. Those 4 words hit me like a truck, because I suddenly realized what I'd been doing for 60 years. I was holding on to everything like it was my last ice cream cone. That argument with my neighbor in 1985, still replaying it in my mind. The job promotion I didn't get in 1992, still bitter about it. The time my son forgot my birthday in 2003, couldn't let it go. Scientists actually have a name for this. It's called rumination. Studies show that people who can't stop thinking about past hurts have 50% higher stress hormones in their blood. Their brains literally stay in fight mode all the time. That was me. My body was at war with ghosts. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. I started noticing something weird after that birthday party. Every old person I knew fell into 2 groups, the happy ones and the miserable ones, and it had nothing to do with money or health. My neighbor Frank had cancer and barely any savings, but he smiled every single day. My cousin Martha had millions in the bank and perfect health. She complained about everything. What was the difference? I spent 3 months watching them, talking to them, and I discovered something psychologists call the grudge weight. Happy old people had let things go throughout their lives. They traveled light. Unhappy old people were still carrying resentments from 40 years ago. They were buried under the weight. Here's the shocking part. Researchers at Stanford University studied 1,200 elderly people for 10 years. They found that people who forgave others lived an average of 7 years longer. 7 years! Holding grudges was literally shortening people's lives. But there's more. The study found that it wasn't just about forgiving others. The biggest difference came from forgiving yourself. People who beat themselves up over past mistakes had twice the rate of heart disease. Their own thoughts were attacking their bodies. I realized I was in that second group. I'd been punishing myself for decades, for not being a perfect father, for missing my wife's signals when she was sad, for choosing work over family dinners, for getting angry at my kids over stupid things. The list went on and on. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. One night, I couldn't sleep. Again. I was thinking about a fight I had with my brother in 1978. Yes, 1978. Over a borrowed lawnmower that I never returned. He died in 2015, and I was still thinking about that stupid lawnmower at 3 a.m. Something snapped in my brain that night. I suddenly saw the truth. My brother wasn't thinking about that lawnmower. He was dead. The only person still carrying it was me. I was torturing myself over something that didn't even matter anymore. Then it hit me harder. Everything I was holding on to was the same. Every grudge, every regret, every I should have, and if only. None of it mattered anymore. None of it could be changed. I was choosing to carry dead weight. But here's what really blew my mind. I wasn't just carrying these things. I was feeding them. Every time I replayed that argument in my head, I made it bigger. Every time I told someone about being wronged, I strengthened the grudge. I was actively choosing misery and calling it remembering. A therapist later told me something that explained everything. She said, our brains are like gardens. Whatever we water grows. I'd been watering weeds for 60 years, and then wondering why I had no flowers. The science backs this up. Brain scans show that repeated negative thoughts actually create physical pathways in our brains, like trails in a forest. The more you walk the same trail, the deeper it gets. I had carved canyons of resentment in my brain. So what does all this mean for us today? Letting go isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing yourself. When I finally understood this, everything changed. My blood pressure dropped 20 points in 2 months. I started sleeping through the night. My relationship with my kids improved because I stopped bringing up old mistakes. But the biggest change was internal. I felt lighter, like someone had finally let me put down that heavy backpack I'd been carrying for decades. Here's what letting go actually looks like. It's not saying what they did was okay. It's saying, I'm not going to let this control me anymore. Big difference. It's not pretending the past didn't happen. It's accepting that you can't change it and choosing to focus on what you can control now. It's not being weak. It's being smart enough to know that anger and resentment hurt you more than anyone else. Young people need to hear this most. You have time to avoid my mistake. Don't wait 60 years to learn this lesson. Every day you hold a grudge is a day you lose. Every moment spent replaying old hurts is a moment stolen from your present. I watched my grandson with that ice cream again recently. He was right. It's just ice cream. That job you didn't get? It's just ice cream. That person who wronged you? It's just ice cream. Your past mistakes? All ice cream. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. The final twist? Letting go isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. I'm 80 now, and I still catch myself picking up old grudges. The difference is, now I notice it, and I put them back down. Last week, someone cut me off in traffic. Old me would have stayed angry all day. New me? I laughed, because I realized something beautiful. That driver has no idea I exist. Why would I give them space in my head? Everything I told you today took me 80 years to learn. But you can start right now, tonight. Pick one thing you've been holding on to. One grudge, one regret, one should have. And just for today, put it down. See how it feels to travel light. I promise you it's better than any medicine, better than any amount of money. Because peace isn't something you find. It's something you create by letting go of everything that isn't peace. That's what 80 years finally taught me. And I hope you won't need 80 years to learn it too.